They didn't announce it on TV. There was no emergency press conference, no red alert banner, no breaking news, music. But while most people were scrolling their phones, something massive quietly detonated behind the scenes. A single executive order, tied to silver, changed the landscape. A move connected to Trump's return to power sent shockwaves through the system, and within hours, banks holding what insiders called death bag silver began to wobble. This wasn't noise. This was a signal. And if you blinked, you missed the moment the old price of silver quietly died. What you're about to hear isn't hype. It's a story, a chain reaction unfolding in real time. A reset that many believe could push silver toward levels people once laughed at. By the end of this video, you'll understand why some insiders are whispering one number repeatedly. Not 50. Not 100. $500. Before we go any further, if you value clear thinking in a world full of financial theater, hit like and subscribe right now. It tells the algorithm you want truth over noise. It also helps Market Truth Archives keep bringing you stories most channels won't touch. You don't want to miss what's coming next. For decades, silver wasn't traded like a metal. It was traded like a promise. Paper contracts stacked on top of paper contracts, claims built on claims, leverage sitting on leverage. For every real ounce of silver, there were dozens or even hundreds of digital IOUs floating through the system. Banks loved it. Funds loved it. As long as nobody asked for delivery, the game worked. Prices stayed controlled. Risks stayed hidden. But then, something changed. It didn't start with Trump. Yet his inauguration acted like a match dropped into dry fuel. Quietly, an order went through that reshaped how strategic metals could be classified, stored, and prioritized. The wording was boring and legal, almost invisible. But buried inside it was a shift that allowed physical silver to move into a new category of national relevance. That's when the pressure started. Banks that had been comfortable holding massive short positions suddenly faced a different world. When silver stops being just a speculative asset, the rules change. Delivery matters. Inventory matters. Paper games stop working the way they used to, and the system doesn't adjust loudly. It tightened silently. Inside trading desks, stress didn't show up as panic. It showed up as silence. Phones stopped ringing. Emails went unanswered. Risk models were quietly adjusted late at night. No headlines. No announcements. This is what real financial fear looks like. The term death bag isn't poetic. It's brutal. It refers to silver positions that look profitable on paper but are impossible to unwind. Any attempt to exit sends prices higher against the holder. Banks can't buy silver fast enough without pushing the price up, and they can't exit without admitting the metal isn't there. That's when cracks began to show. First came small delivery delays, then unusual settlement offers. Cash instead of metal became common. Premiums began rising in places that weren't supposed to matter. Coin dealers ran dry. Industrial buyers quietly locked in long-term supply contracts. The prices made no sense if silver was truly abundant. This wasn't retail hype. This wasn't social media noise. This was industrial fear. An industry doesn't speculate. Silver isn't just jewelry. It's electronics, solar panels, medical technology. It's military hardware, and unlike gold, silver gets used up. Once it's gone, it's gone. You don't easily recycle solar panels. You don't reclaim silver at scale without cost. And above all, you don't replace it overnight. Now imagine governments competing with industry for the same shrinking pool of physical metal. That's the reset no one is talking about. That's the pressure building quietly beneath the surface. And pressure doesn't release politely. The $500 number sounds insane to people stuck in old frameworks. They imagine slow climbs over decades. They expect orderly markets. They expect gradual appreciation. But resets don't move like that. They jump. They gap. They shock. When paper confidence breaks, price doesn't climb. It snaps. History shows this again and again across currencies, bonds, and entire markets. The longer something is suppressed, the more violent the release. And this suppression lasted generations. Not months. Not years. Here's the part mainstream analysts won't say out loud. If even a small percentage of paper silver holders demand physical delivery at the same time, the system fails. Not because it's inefficient, because it's mathematically impossible. That's not opinion. That's inventory math. The silver does not exist in the quantities promised. So banks do what banks always do when cornered. They look for exits that don't exist. They pressure regulators quietly. They lobby behind closed doors. They attempt controlled unwinds. But control only works until confidence cracks, and confidence cracks fast. You can feel it when official language starts changing. Headlines shift tone. Silver goes from volatile to strategic. Silence replaces certainty. That's where we are now. Trump's order didn't cause the problem. It exposed Italiana. It pulled the curtain back just enough. Insiders realized the game board had changed, and when rules change, behavior follows instantly. The public always finds out last. That's why moments like this matter. Not because you can time the price, not because anyone can predict the day, but because structure reveals pressure, and pressure reveals direction. Right now, that pressure isn't in stocks. It isn't in crypto headlines. It isn't even in gold. It's sitting quietly inside silver vaults that don't contain what balance sheets claim. This is why banks hate physical metals. You can't rehypothecate what someone holds in their hand. You can't create infinite claims on a finite object. As this video comes to a close, think about that. Do you believe silver is still controlled? Or do you think control is already slipping? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Read what others are saying. That conversation matters more than you think, and if this perspective helped you see the market differently, share this video. Send it to someone who still believes prices always tell the truth. Sometimes the loudest moves happen in silence. This is Market Truth Archives, and if history is any guide, the real silver story hasn't even hit the headlines yet.